and hopefully it will record the right screen. That's
Oh.
good. Okay, so we're off. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. I know a lot of you are very busy with manning the shops, either single-handedly or with a couple of you, so it's really appreciated that you've taken the time out, but I'm sure others will be watching on replay, so this will be made available to you on our YouTube channel as well. So what we're going to talk about today, and we're going to keep it deliberately simple, because I do have a habit of making things, well, trying to get too much into a presentation, because there's so much scope for doing a lot of things, but actually what you need is an easy in to start doing this yourself. So we're covering ordering, which is essentially looking at catalogues that have been shared either by publishers or gardeners, or the BA Christmas catalogue, or lots of other catalogues that you can access through Edelweiss, or even your own collections. You can order from your own collections. Collections are essentially a catalogue as well, that you can make for yourself. So the screen that you're looking at the moment, I always start on the home screen, because this is packed full of widgets, and the widgets can be customized, and they do give you some information. Oh, was that someone trying to talk? No, that's Ruth. So yeah, they do give you, depending on how you've got your homepage set up, easy access to some of the catalogues as well. So you can see over on the right hand side here, I've got my recently viewed catalogues, and that's an easy way into things that you are currently working on. So you can see my HarperCollins are in there, how many titles, the publisher, just a bit of a summary. But the best way to access catalogues, if your rep has sent you a catalogue via Edelweiss, the absolute best way is to go to the email that they sent. I'm just going to pull one up so you can see what it looks like. Bear with me. Okay, so let's just move that over, and I've deliberately shown it because, but shown it like this with the images not showing, because this is something that Outlook will do for any email that you received. It will block pictures. If you just click on this bar at the top and download the pictures, you get a nice summary of the catalogue that your rep or your publisher has shared with you. So what I'm seeing here is the HarperCollins children's catalogue for 2021. Being primarily a children's bookshop, I thought that would be a good one to work with, because there'll be a lot of books in there that we'll probably want to order. So you can see there are 58 titles, there are 2 notes, there are some tags, there are some prioritized books, but you can click on any of these images to bring up the catalogue. Okay, so in we go, and you can see the catalogue is loading. And over on the left-hand side, we've got, again, the summary, but also you've got this yellow mark across the catalogue image. That means that it's been marked up. A markup basically means there's additional information that has been specially created for you as a bookshop, or the range of bookshops that this catalogue has been sent to. So we are looking at so we can see here the list of titles. The default view is, in my opinion, the best view, because it gives you a lot of information all on one screen. But there are ways to get, say, a list view. If I click on this, you'll see a list of all the titles. If I click on this, you'll get a spread of 4 per page. But the best way, particularly for ordering the titles, is in the line-by-line view. So if we're looking at the titles here, we can see the benefit of shopping essentially for your titles in a catalogue is all this additional content that you can get from the publisher. Okay, so we can see additional images, so you get a lot better feel for what the title looks like. You've got all of the bibliographic information up here, the number of pages, the dimensions, any honors that it's won. So in this case, this book has won an Indie Next award, essentially. We can also see reviews that your peers have created for you. You can click on any of these and find reviews from other bookshops in this case, or reviewers or bloggers. That's all available for you in here. There are community reviews, so just a general scoring, people that have just said they love it, and then people that have put it on shelves. That's all available on this screen. I don't want to dwell too much on that, but as we move down, in this instance, there is an additional note against this title, telling you it's an MBA star, so it's essentially a celeb book. Poems encourage curiosity. That sounds lovely. Then there's tags that have been added to this book as well. So extra promotional discount is available on this. And then one of the things that adds the most amount of value to looking at a catalogue in Edelweiss is when publishers add comp titles to the title. So a comp title, if you don't know, is a comparable title. It's basically the publisher saying this book is like this book, and what Edelweiss then does is tell you how well that book that they're comping to did in your shop. Okay, so I can look down this list of comp titles, and they don't have to be comps of titles from the same publisher. They can be from lots of different publishers if it's relevant. So we've actually manually added in this Same But Different Too from Carl Newson, because in this instance I can see that I have, if I hover over here, my lifetime sales for this title are 10. My sales last year are 9, and I've got 1 on hand at the moment. So if your stock control system is contributing data to Edelweiss, which Batchline and GuardLink users will be, Booksolve and Merlio being a bit slow in getting theirs on, but that should be coming too as well, then you will have access to this information as well. So it's really powerful. It will also tell you if you've already ordered this book as well, so you don't double order anything. So that's the idea of comp titles. Now I can add my own comp titles to any of these books as well. So for instance, I know down here I've got a couple of Mr. Men books somewhere. There we go, Mr. Men. I can click on add a comp title. Oh, sorry, find additional comps. I can find my ISBN that I made a note of earlier. You can search by name, but ISBN is quicker, and then you don't have to search through all the different editions. There we go. So Mr. Men, add selected comp. So I'm going to tick that box, and that now is a comp against this title. So I can see my lifetime sales, my last year's sales is all in there. Okay, so now what I'm also seeing on each of the titles is if HarperCollins have featured the title, which is what this bar along the top of this one means. I can also see up here there was one that was highlighted as well. Okay, so they've decided this is going to be a bigger one. So you can, and so they're color coded basically. As you look through, you can see that. Now, let's keep it simple. Did I go a bit complicated there? I hope not. So what we need to do is create an order to start adding books that you've decided you want to buy on. So this orange bar at the bottom is your basket that you currently have selected. Now I don't have any basket selected at the moment, if I click on the plus here, I can create myself a new order. So I've clicked on plus. Let's do it Dan order, because I can't think of anything else to say. And then I can share it with my rep. So my rep can have visibility of how the order is progressing. If I click on that, I can share it with, if I scroll down, my HarperCollins rep, let's say Lucy. Okay, and if I tick this box, it will also email her to say that I've started work on it as well. Okay, I'm not going to do that. So if I close that, that's now shared with my rep. Now, if your rep doesn't come up in that list, you need to ask them to add you as a contact and to start sharing the catalogues with you that way. I can make comments, some exciting books. And then if I am having the rep coming in to visit, I can make a note of when that appointment is going to be. So if only that was happening at the moment. But the idea is always, where possible, that this is going to enhance your rep's visit into the shop. So you've already prepared for it, you've already seen the titles, and you can start the discussion about the ones you're really excited about, and then they can point out the ones that maybe you've missed in that that initial view of it. I'm just going to do that and save. Okay, so now that I've created my order, you can see it's down here, Dan order. I have an orange box next to my shop, and that means that I can start adding quantities to my order. So for this one, for instance, I might want to buy 2 of those. So I've entered the number 2 in here. All I need to do to get to the next one is press tab, and I'm immediately on the next one. Okay. I might want one of those. Now, just while we're on this screen, you'll see that this has tried to automatically categorize this book. Now, I can see that this probably isn't a young adult title. So I can click into here and I can change it to, let's go with, that looks like a picture book to me. So I can start typing the name of my category in my shop. Press enter and it's recategorized it for you. For this one up the top as well, I think that's going to be a picture book. So I'm going to type picture book. So it's really easy just to add your categories as you go along. What that means is when the books arrive in your shop, the books will be pre-categorized already. So you don't have to do that work of sitting at the table when you're scanning your books going, oh, I've got to categorize that and pressing buttons and all of that. It will already be in there. That works particularly well with Batchline users when you load the order in. So yes, so I can carry on. Let's go to this one. This is a highlighted one about wombats. I think that's quite a nice looking one. I think actually Ruth added an extra note on this one as well. So there you go. I love the illustrations for these. Which is quite nice to have that personalization on your markup. Okay. Again, another markup note shared on there, best-selling creator of Diary of a Wombat. So let's go back to my numbers. I'm not going to do the whole order. I'm going to tab between them. That one I think I'm going to skip for now. And skip that one. Let's have one of those. Valentine's Day thing. Adventures of Paddington. Everyone loves Paddington. So I'm just skipping through. I'm going to leave it there for now. Just a side note, these little buttons above my order, if I'm particularly excited about a book that's coming up, I might want to add it to a campaign. Now that's a mailing campaign to my customers. So I just wanted to show you that because it makes creating an email campaign incredibly easy from the catalogue. and you can add books from lots of different catalogues into your campaign. Anyway, as you can see at the bottom, the orange bar is updating with the number of titles I've selected, how many in total, and the total cost of the order at the moment as well. Okay. So, Ruth, have I missed anything on this screen so far? Not going to answer me.
Oh, no, sorry. I just was trying to get to the unmute. No, I think you're good. Carry on. Wait to get
okay. Yeah. I'm talking too much again. Okay, so everything that you've done in here is going to be put through into your orders screen. Okay, you don't need to click save. You don't need to do anything. It's all dynamically updated as you do it. Okay, so I'm going to go into my orders screen. And here is my Dan order. Okay, now if I go into my Dan order, okay, I can review from here. I can just check, am I really sure? Did I really mean all of these books? Do I really want them? Just have a little review. Oh, I should have pointed out what this green bar here means as well. This is how heavily other people are ordering it and other people are stocking the book. Okay, so I can see that other people have started ordering these already on those titles. So all we need to do now is complete the order. Okay, if I go to export preview, depending on what computer system you're using for your bookshop, if you're using one at all, you'll have a different selection here. So I'm on Batchline, that's now Batchline. So it knows immediately that the format of my order needs to be, I swapped that over by mistake, needs to be a Batchline manual order. That just has all the information that I need for Batchline to be able to import it. Okay, so if I download my order, okay, now it's going to ask me, am I complete? Is it done? Okay, and when I say yes, that order will then go to the rep for them to complete. Now, very shortly, well, I say very shortly, when you hit complete, if your publisher is on is signing up to the new batch ordering method, when you hit complete, that order will go immediately into the electronic ordering system for that publisher via batch. Some very clever bit of work that's going on at the moment to get that all sorted out. So the rep won't even have to, they won't have to take that and manually key it or anything like that. It will go direct to them. Okay. So if I say yes to that, the order has been marked as completed. And as far as Edelweiss is concerned, that's done with. Okay. Now, just for those that do use Batchline, or if you use GuardLink, there'll be a method for doing it on GuardLink as well. But what that has done is downloaded this file here. All I need to do in my Batchline system, if you bear with me while it just finishes loading. Okay, so all I need to do in here is go to manual ordering. I'm going to do a manual stock order and a batch entry mode, and okay. I can set my supplier up here to Harper. I don't need to set anything else on this screen. I can click import. I can click on my order that it's just exported, which I believe is that one. Click on open. And here's where the clever stuff happens with the category. The ones that I did categorize, it's categorized them for me. Okay. I can click on process. And that then goes off and puts all the other details into my system as well. Okay. So the last thing I need to do when this finishes processing is go to complete. It knows it's a HarperCollins because I've already told it that. I can click on new order because I don't have an existing order for them. and in orders, I can transmit it because I know that it's been received by HarperCollins. All I'm doing is transmitting it to my printer, which means it's not going anywhere other than to the printer that's upstairs. So transmit, okay. I don't actually need to print it, so I can cancel that screen. And now, as far as my system is concerned, that order is on order. I know I don't need to order those books whenever I'm looking them up for a customer in a month's time, 2 months' time, or colleagues are looking them up for a customer. The system knows they're on order. If a customer is trying to pre-order them, it will go, oh, hang on a minute, we've already got this coming in. Do you want to allocate the order? So that works really well when you're ordering 20 or 30 of a hardback that's coming out, you know, in a month or two. You don't have to kind of manage it all. It's all done for you. It's all there in your system, and that'll be the same with the GuardLink system as well. So that is ordering in a nutshell. Okay. I should, if I go back to my browser, just to tell you a bit of other things you can do. If I only wanted to look at my the highlighted, let's go back to the catalogue actually, not the order. So let's go on my recently viewed. So there is the catalogue. So if I only want to look at the ones that have a highlight, I can click on highlighted there, and then I just have the ones that they've highlighted. So Lemony Snickets, definitely some in there that I would be ordering. Maybe I don't want, highlighted. Maybe I want ones with some notes on, or ones that I haven't ordered yet. So there's loads of filters you can play around with there. Children's, for instance, I might, let's say, look at some more grown-up ones just by clicking on the side there. So filters are really good. If I'm looking for a particular book, I've got a search bar in here. So if I'm looking for blood, it's going to find it within this catalogue. Okay, so this search bar up here is always within the catalogue. You trying to get my attention, Ruth?
Oh, yeah, slightly. It was a genuine throat clearing, but
okay.
I was going to say I have a question,
yes,
plant question, and then we'll open it up to everybody else for questions. So as a plant, my question is, what would I do if I didn't get a markup from a rep, but the books are on Edelweiss and I want to use those tools to get it into Batchline and just to make things more efficient, regardless of the rep?
So, I've clicked on something wrong there. So browsing catalogues, do you mean, or do you mean adding them to a collection?
Either one.
Okay, yeah, probably wise to cover both. Okay, so yeah, if your rep hasn't sent you the markup, as long as they have created the catalogue, you'll be able to browse catalogues. Probably the best place to look is in all publishers. So you can browse your catalogues from that point. So generally what I do is I start typing the publisher's name. So Thames and Hudson, for instance, have started doing some great ones. So as soon as I've typed Thames, you can see all of their catalogues have started coming up in there, and I can browse through maybe for the one that I want. Okay, let's look at, let's go through, let's look at children's again. Issues-based children's books. So what happens when you've clicked on a catalogue is it will highlight yellow and take you to that point, and then I can go in.
You could also just go to publishers and go to Thames and Hudson.
Yeah.
If you're thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Catalogues.
So, pardon?
Catalogues is nice because you can sort them based on what's newest from all of the publishers together.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. So I'm in my Thames and Hudson, then I would create my order, then I would start adding my numbers. So, and what Ruth was highlighting was that you can just go straight to publishers. Oh, I could search for a publisher in here, Thames and Hudson. Okay, and there you've got all of the Thames and Hudson with the nice pictures on and everything in there as well. And then, so the other thing is, yes, what if you've got a list of books that you want to use all the features that are available in Edelweiss in terms of, you know, matching up comps and looking at the deeper bibliographic information, everything like that. You can create yourself your own catalogue to order from. And I use that for sending out to schools as well. That is multi-purpose. But if we go into catalogues, your own catalogues are called collections. Okay, so I can click on create collection. I can give it a name. I'm trying to think if I've got a list of ISBNs I can use, but let's call it Dan's test. Ignore that I can't type. Create and add titles. Okay, so this is the list of titles that are on this collection at the moment. All I need to do is add titles, and then you can paste your ISBNs in there. Let me think if I've got a list of ISBNs I can use. Bear with me a minute. I should have prepared this. So you can literally go to any spreadsheet and grab a bunch of ISBNs that way. Let me just make sure these are going to be formatted correctly. Okay, so. So I've copied the list of ISBNs, I'm pasting them in there, I'm adding them. I've got no idea. Oh, it didn't like that. There we go, 24 added. There was probably one in there it didn't like. But as you can see, it's gone off and got all of the bibliographic information for it. I can reorder them if I want to, but let's not worry about that. But that's what that button does. If I close this, I can now look at the collection that I've just made. Okay, and over here is my ordering box for starting to add books into an order based on this list. Okay, so that could be all sorts of lists that you found to base your ordering on. But the beauty again of doing it like this is seeing what other shops are doing with it right in front of you. So you've got your green bar again, how many have it on hand, how many have it on order, whether you've already got it. So you can see over here, which you didn't see on on the last catalogue we're in, my on-hand quantity is 1. So I probably wouldn't be ordering another one of those. But I can go down here, Mouse and Mole, Joyce Dunbar, I'll definitely be getting. Even though it's quite an old book, but Joyce Dunbar lives down the road from me. And we're actually, my friend is doing a website for her. So yes, I can look, and then I've got comp titles where comp titles have been added. Another way to view the books, if you wanted to, is you can click on this little arrow here and you get like a presentation view, which is quite nice. If, say, you've got a school zooming into you or something, you can go through a catalogue with them, you know, highlighting the things that you want to highlight about the book. And again, in here, you've got reviews, your POS data, your peer data, everything is in there. Okay. Oh, I think this list is actually all Joyce Dunbar, isn't it? Yes, it is. But yes, that's how you would add from a list of books that you've got that you want to.
That was great. Answered my question. I asked everyone to unmute, or you don't have to, but if anyone has questions, go ahead and ask them, either, you know, by piping up, or if you'd rather just put it in the chat, we can answer them in the chat too.
Dan, when you've done all of this and you put it in Batchline and everything, when you come to goods in the books, how do you make sure that Batchline picks up that it's that order?
Because you'll be goodsing it in from, so in this instance, from HarperCollins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it just finds it. What Batchline does is it finds the it matches up first of all on supplier. So your goodsing in HarperCollins, it knows these are on order, and it just finds the order.
Well, I thought you had to, so I don't know if I'm doing it the right way, because when you go on goods in and then you go scan goods in and then you'll select HarperCollins and then it'll ask for an invoice number and it'll say match to PO.
Oh, ignore that.
Oh, okay.
That does nothing. That box.
Interesting.
That box
And you ignore it regardless. Oh, okay. So we can just ignore it and it'll find it automatically.
Yeah. Never use that box. It does absolutely nothing. Okay. What the system is doing is saying, can I find this on any order ever, and matching it in? And if it's not outstanding for a customer, then it will find the oldest stock order that you've made. If it's outstanding for a customer, regardless of whether you've also ordered it for stock, it will prioritize that customer.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Yeah. That's all right. Mm-hmm. Any other questions? I can't see the chat, so if anyone else is looking at the chat that has...
It's from Hungerford.
Hello, Emma.
Hello. Is it possible to have a list of reps or publishers that are able to email us catalogues?
We can certainly get that for you, can't we, Ruth?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do that.
And then which of those publishers are on the sort of the link to the batch ordering system?
Yeah, I mean, the batch ordering system isn't live yet.
Right.
I think the technology is there now because there's a trial version of Batchline using it. But the Edelweiss side, us transmitting a file straight to batch, that's not in place yet. What I didn't say about that process though is that you won't have to do any file exporting and importing into Batchline once that's in place. What Batchline is going to do is automatically create that order once it knows about the order on their systems. So it's basically fire and forget from Edelweiss. That order will be created within Batchline for you.
Thanks. I think it would be really useful to have a list of reps because
I'm
trying to deal with the PRH rep, and I assumed that my rep would be able to do it because PRH had done a number of presentations on Edelweiss, but I ended up having to explain to my rep what it was, and
oh, really?
I've not been trained on it. I don't know how. We're not signed up to do it. And now she's just emailing me lists of ISBNs so I can call them myself. And
okay. What's happening with PRH is we're starting some training with them specifically to get them all up to speed on it because they're still in a trial period. We haven't quite embarked on that yet, but it's coming. So they will be much better on it. But at the moment, there's a few key people that are, and then the reps are still using their ESK system, which is
Emma. Do you have? This is Antonia in Bridport. Do you have Kate?
Yes.
Yeah, so do I. So I will be working with her on how to use it once the training's been done.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'll let you know.
Thanks, Antonia.
I have some questions.
Oh, please, yes.
Or comments. Additions.
I hoped you would, Antonia. I mean, what we were trying to do with this demo was keep it simple. So
I'm absolutely, yes. I'm not adding much.
Good.
The first one, if everybody remembers how to set up actually activate your cart. As Dan was putting it in and then putting in the name of the order, some best practices on that. When you're naming that order, strongly recommend that you include the publisher, the month, and the year, because you will be continuing to order. And so if you just name it Dan's order, for who? So that's just also the other thing he didn't do anything in, and this is specifically for Batchline users, is if you put a PO number in the place where it puts a PO number, that will show up in your reference field. So even if you're throwing it to gardeners, it will give you that, it'll give you the ability to see when you get your gardener's invoice, that this is actually a new book in, and that will just as a little trigger.
That's a really good hint.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Comp titles. Thanks for showing them how to add comp titles, Dan. That was really cool. What you didn't show is that in the bottom sort of left-hand corner, there's this thing called community comps. And if you go back to Mr. Tickle, Dan, I've added one so you can see.
Oh, marvelous. Thank you. Oh,
and if somebody else has done the work for you, you can actually click and just add those titles, which is really helpful when you're trying to look for specific comps.
Yeah. Let me go back.
And then you didn't show them how to add a backlist title to a front list order.
No, I didn't.
Which is super fun. If you're like, well, that's number 2 in the series. Oh, is it? Well, I don't have number 1 and I'd really like to get number 1 in. You can actually do that and add it to that first order.
From the order screen, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Bear with me. I want to look at your comp first of all. Mr. Tickle.
Oh, you passed him. Here he is.
Yeah. Comps. Oh, where's it gone? Where are your community comps?
If you look down at the bottom, did you bring up add, find additional comps?
Okay, yes. Right.
Then look down at the bottom and there's that community comps and the yellow button.
Marvelous. Let's tick all of those.
Did you want to share your screen so everybody can see it?
Oh, I thought it was still shared.
It is.
I can see it.
Not on mine, it isn't.
It is.
Might have
Oh, so you guys can see it. Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
There we go. We have added in community comps. Which one did you add? Mr. Men Trip to the Moon?
No, I added Mr. Jelly.
Mr. Jelly, there you go. Which we've never had. How have we never
That's
had?
my favorite.
Excellent. Thank you, Antonia. The other thing I think is worth mentioning while we're here is these buttons here. They're just a quick way of doing something with the title, like a really important one, a really good one, if you want to get into it, is tags. Okay, tags is over here. You can add your own tag to a book. Now, one that always sticks out for me, say for instance, here we go. Let's add a tag to My Baby Loves Valentine, and let's call it Valentine. Okay, because when Valentine's Day comes around, you can go to your tags within Edelweiss and look at all of the books that you've tagged as Valentine. You might also, and this is something that gets asked more and more in our shop, you might want to flag it as having BAME character on the cover. So I'm just going to put BAME, for instance. You use whatever tag you like, but again, you get that query coming into your shop. You can immediately go to a really strong list of titles and things that you flagged. So it's worth doing. It may, well, I mean, it's so easy to do here. It's actually more difficult to do, say, in Batchline, for instance, or in any other system. You've just got the button there to do it. It's worth doing it if it's a title you're going to be pulling in particularly.
And you can also email tags.
What do you mean?
I mean that you can actually go to your tags list and then email them
Oh, I
to
see.
somebody. So if you want to email
Yeah.
yourself your Valentine's list, you can do that.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. So similar to creating a collection.
But that's not simple. Sorry.
What's to email? Oh, it's creating a collection.
Well, no, we're trying to keep this simple. And
No, I know. But clicking on tags and adding a tag, very simple.
Yes.
Worth doing. Then you can learn how to use them at a later date if you want to use all that work.
Can I ask a question? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Hi, Dan. I'm sorry. I'm the worst person. I was late, and I've been having phone calls, and it's been carnage here.
That's okay.
So I've missed so much. Now I've got GuardLink. I order 97% of all my books from gardeners.
Yeah.
Does this replace GuardLink, or is this an addition to?
No, they work in unison together. Batchline, it's slightly more integration, but GuardLink, no. If you're a GuardLink user, you will have a GuardLink export format when you go to your orders. If you want to send that order to the publisher, you'll have that option within Edelweiss soon. If you want to send that order to the publisher within GuardLink, I presume you can do that already. I mean, some shops do that already in GuardLink. But if you want to send that order to gardeners, you can do that. I selected HarperCollins when I was in my Batchline system, but that isn't compulsory. I could have sent that to gardeners and just got my standard discount on those books, or if they're running a promotion, I would have got a promotional discount. But yeah, that's it's not dictating anything to you. The choice of where that order goes is still yours. If you've shared it with your rep and your agreement is for the rep to then place that order, then that's what they'll do. So you wouldn't then send gardeners as well. What was that?
Sorry, I forgot I was unmuted. I was thanking Maria.
Any other questions?
Are you kind of you've got all the publishers on board, and so because I organise a festival in November, it's really handy always around kind of springtime to know what the books are going to be coming out in November. So so that I can obviously organise the best lineup possible for the festival. Can this help with that? Can this give me early alerts on stuff? And
well, certainly the catalogues for the publishers that are already signed up, yes. More and more are signing up every week, which is great, but they're certainly not all on there. So for instance, Hachette isn't on there. Who else isn't? Well, I could go through long lists of people that aren't on there, but certainly for the ones that are on there, yes, it can add a lot of value to you. So
I was going to say, maybe you could you use the filter. There's a cool thing called saved filter. So you can make a filter that's just November 21, a pub date. And then you just, every time you go in there, it will just show you whatever, even if new things have popped up with that pub date. So it's sort of a quick hit across all the publishers.
Yeah.
Obviously, Hachettes cover quite a lot of publishers. Do you think there's a likelihood they will join, or are they just not interested?
Well, they're signed up in America, but I believe I'm right in saying they were the last to sign up in America.
No, Simon & Schuster was the last.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes.
But
I think
it is chicken and egg.
Well, a lot of it comes from we need to be asking our reps at every single meeting to when are you going to get on Edelweiss? When will you get on Edelweiss? When will you get on Edelweiss?
Yeah.
That all of us, not just me.
I have been asking.
Oh, good. Do you have Julia?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Is there a danger though? I mean, I love Edelweiss, but is there a danger if we take too much away from our reps that we might not have them anymore because they won't be of the job for them.
That was what we were concerned about in the States, and we actually, now in the States, they actually have more sales reps than they did when Edelweiss launched in 2009. It changes the relationship with the reps slightly, and it changes how those conversations happen. But no, it absolutely does not get rid of the rep.
In fact, yeah, it makes them more, they've got more to do, they've got more, they can add more value in a way,
yeah,
because they've got all these notes of things that they can do, and it means that they also can do stuff a bit faster. Maybe not first, but once they're used to it, they can actually reach out to more of their customers that maybe they couldn't normally visit. So for a lot of them, it's been huge in that way. So
good. I'm glad. I like my reps. I didn't want to lose them.
We were that concerned 10 years ago in the States. Just didn't happen.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just a very small question. Can I confirm that we could send it, instead of sending it to a rep, we could just send it to a PDF and then email them in the old-fashioned way?
Yeah, you can absolutely do that.
But I just don't trust all my reps are actually, I think I could use it before they could. So it might just be more effective in some cases if I actually email it to them.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you could do that one of two ways. You could use, so once you've put the order into your Batchline system, you could use the PDF emailer within Batchline, or you can do it from Edelweiss and just create an export from there and send it as an Excel file from there.
Okay, thanks.
Whichever way you want to do it.
Sorry, it's Emma again. It's probably a really stupid question, I might have misunderstood, but if you're creating your own collection, so you've got a new catalogue, does it, so if, when you come to like transmit that, does it split it off into different suppliers, or should we just stick to one supplier at a time, or how does that work?
Ruth, do you have an idea on that one?
well, I'm not sure I quite got the question.
Okay. Well, so the way I understand it going to work is I mean, we haven't done the development to actually get that order sent. But the way I understand it to work is you will have if you've built the order from lots of different publishers, you will have the ability to separate them out, or you can push them all to your wholesaler. But
oh yeah, of course, yeah, that's an easy way, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I think Batch are planning to do something. We talked about it with them. They're planning to do something like that. So somebody does send a mixed order, that they'd be able to split it, but it gets a bit complicated at that point. I think initially it would just be, you'd say this is a Harper order, and it would go to Batch and they would send it to Harper. And if you accidentally had some other publishers' titles in there, they just wouldn't get fulfilled.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, the filters are already built into Edelweiss to be able to split out an order by, if you've got one big order with lots of different publishers in, you can split out that order by publisher using the filters and send them individually that way. So that could be a solution that we kind of we take and we maybe develop that a little bit. But certainly the information is there within the system. So
okay.
I have another question.
Good.
I know we have an account because I've been on the site, but not for a while. Is it automatically linked up to our Batchline, or do we need to get some technical bod to link our Batchline data to this?
It's that what I just did will work for you.
So it has records about our stock levels, what we have in stock.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I could log in as you now and show you if you like, Tracy, but I won't.
No, don't bother.
Yes, the information gets sent every day from Batchline.
Okay, great.
So you'll have historical overviews, you'll have all of that information in there.
Already.
All ready to use.
Excellent. Super, thank you.
Could I ask another question? Is it we just have one account for the bookshop, don't we? It's like you wouldn't have multiple accounts for like different booksellers to have an account on Edelweiss, would you? Or
Yeah,
would you?
no, you can have as many as you like. So I've got accounts for every member of staff in the shop. And I encourage them to write reviews because the reviews are really powerful when it comes to mailing. And well, they're really useful anyway, but I encourage them to write reviews. But yeah, you can have one for everybody. I've even got one for my mum, who isn't a staff member, but she reads a lot and I trust her reviews. So she has an account and she logs in and reviews books when she's done it. So yeah, recruit people.
Okay. And can we set that up ourselves, or do you need to? Yeah, we could do.
If you go to your profile picture up on the right hand side, go to I believe settings.
No, other one, profile.
Profile. I always get them
Sorry.
right. Profile. Okay, so here's my user accounts. As you can see, I've got quite a few, and I can just add user, and then I'm there.
Amazing. Then they can see all the stock in the shop and stuff, and like, could I see the orders they've made and things as well?
Yeah. Yeah, the orders and the tags, some things are shared like that. So if they make an order, you'll be able to see it and change it. But also the tags, it's kind of cool because if you do, or people buying do create tags, then you can have somebody else go off and pull together the, all the Valentine books, because they'll be able to see all the tags from everybody in the shop.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you. Didn't know that.
Those extra users will also find benefit from some of the new developments that we're doing with community, like list building and things like that. But that's to come. That's the teaser. Any other questions?
Can I ask how we actually set it up in the first place, Edelweiss? We haven't actually done that yet.
You will have a login, Nikki.
Okay.
If you, I can. What I'll do actually, I'll contact you after this with your login details.
Brilliant, thank you.
Are you? Hang on, remind me, Nikki. Are you gardening?
Yeah, gardening.
I thought so. Yeah. Okay. So with that, if you haven't used it before and they haven't already set you up, I think existing users have all got an account and are all contributing their data, but I might be wrong on individual cases. So I'll check your account and then I'll contact you afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
But it's a quick email to gardeners. They set up the initial data feed and then that's done if they're not already doing it.
Okay.
Right. Well, reaching the end of the hour. So that was really great. Actually. Thanks, Dan. And thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you, Antonio, for your input as well.
Yeah.
And all the questions.
My plant question too. Yeah, thanks for all those questions. Yeah, I'm going to make sure. This is the first time I've recorded a Zoom, and I'm a little bit nervous that it's maybe, I'm not sure which part of the Zoom it's recording, if it's recording your screen or not. So fingers crossed, the recording will be out there, and we'll get that distributed to everybody shortly if it's all good. Well, thanks everybody for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much. Oh, have we got a question in chat? Oh, I think people are just saying thank you. So yes, thank you very much, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, Dan. Everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.